What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick. Got the sniffles, Cacus, and today we have a brand new Grandmaster guide for the Heist Battlegrounds Mars, showcasing 3 incredible loadouts, one for each different class, as well as a bunch of tips for the strike itself, so you can overcome this week's available Grandmaster as easily as possible. And so, let's get started. Now guys, remember that this is actually the first week that the brand new Nightfall bow, the pre-Astyanax, is actually dropping, so that's pretty exciting as well. And first things first, let's talk about those recommended loadouts. Now, in terms of the modifiers you need to know about when developing these loadouts, first of all, you are going to be versing all 3 elements of shield, however, solar and arc are going to be most common. Next up, you have unstoppable and barrier champions. After that, there is a solar threat, and then moving on from there, you have strand surge as well as void surge, and then you do have overcharged machine guns. So, as always, starting things off with the Titan, I was a Strand Berserker Titan with Blade Fury and then Rally Barricade for the recharge rate, followed by, of course, Frenzied Blade. Then we've got Shackle Grenade, and then after that, the aspects are going to be Banner of War for the healing, combined with Dranger's Lash. Essentially, I've taken my Suspend Titan build and added Banner of War for that extra survivability. Now, the fragments are going to be Thread of Mind, Thread of Wisdom, Thread of Continuity, and Thread of Warding. Now, the featured exotic armor piece is the Abeyant Leap. These are going to cause your class ability to shoot out 3 different suspending blasts, and they give you woven mail when you suspend targets. They are just amazing. And again, we're not really going too far into melees. The way you're going to be triggering your Banner of War is just by getting finishers and the odd melee on a thrall or something, and then you just get normal gun kills to keep it up. Now, moving on from there, speaking of those guns, first of all, we do have a Quicksilver Storm. Just a fantastic auto rifle, can deal with those barrier champions and produce a ton of tangles, and we're going to talk about why that matters in a sec. Then I have the Cartesian Coordinate, a fusion rifle to deal with the unstopped champions. Importantly, this does have lead from gold, which I really do want, and Vorpal weapon. Now, after that, I have the Song of Ir-Yût. So, like I said earlier, machine guns are the overcharged weapon for this Grandmaster, so they're going to be doing 25% more damage, and there's so much ad clearing that goes on throughout the strike that a machine gun is a really good idea. Now, moving on from there, in terms of the armor mods here, I have Heavy Ammo Finder and Dynamo on my helmet. Then on the arms, I have Momentum Transfer, I have Bolstering Detonation and Heavy Handed. After that, I have the Trifecta of Resistances. Then for the legs, I have Arc Scavenger as well as Elemental Charge and a Recuperation mod. And then lastly, I have Utility Kickstart, so I can spam those suspending class abilities so much, and Reaper because I'm just doing that, so I'm getting orbs now for doing that. Now, remember, if you are running this build, make sure to put on all of the artifact perks that improve tangles, especially elemental munitions. Even on a Grandmaster, it's easy to kill a few thralls with a tangle, and then you see that heavy ammo spit out, and it's so fantastic. Especially our Cartesian has lead from gold, so it's getting ammo from that as well. Not to mention you're making special almost all the time. You're going to be absolutely juiced to the gills with ammo when you're using this combo. Now, moving on from there, our next class, the Warlock, is going to be using a Dawnblade with Well of Radiance, of course. Then we've got a Healing Rift, we've got Incinerator Snap, and Solar Grenade. After that, we have Icarus Dash and Touch of Flame. The fragments are going to be Ember of Ashes, Ember of Mercy, Ember of Torches, and Ember of Searing. Now, the featured exotic armor piece here is going to be the Phoenix Protocol, just to get your well back so fast. And again, there's so much ad clearing going on that often when you put down your well, you'll have 100% or nearly 100% of the next one ready by the time that first one wears out. Now, moving on from there, guys, our weapons are going to be the Pardon Our Dust and Auto-Loading Blinding Grenade Launcher, a fantastic choice here. A really good way to deal with the knights that are charging you is just blind them. After that, we do actually have a Vex Mythic class. Remember, this is a fusion rifle, so this can actually deal with those unstopped champions. Now, of course, you can run something different if you don't have the Vex, but this is just a great solar weapon if you do have one available. And then after that, we're running the Retrofit Escapade. Like I said, machine guns are great, and this is one of the best ones with 4th times the charm, getting so much ammo back. You can really put it over a champion or a powerful enemy and just refund so much of your ammo. Now, moving on from there, the mods are going to be, first of all, Harmonic Siphon, Heavy Ammo Scout, and Heavy Ammo Finder for the helmet. Then we've got Bolstering Detonation, Fastball, and another Bolstering Detonation. Then after that, we have the Trifecta of Resistances. Now, after that, we have a Solar Weapon Surge, and then we have a Void Scavenger for the machine gun and a Recuperation. And then lastly, guys, we have a Powerful Attraction, a Bomber ×2. Then moving on from there, last but certainly not least, we have the Hunter. So we're on a Night Stalker subclass. The super is going to be the Deadfall. Then we have Marksman's Dodge, Snare Bomb, and Vortex Grenade. The aspects are going to be Vanishing Step as well as Stylish Executioner, and the fragments are going to be Echo of Expulsion, Echo of Cessation, Echo of Starvation, and Echo of Leeching. Then the featured exotic armor piece is the Gear Falcons, a fantastic choice for the insane add density of this strike, because every time you break out of invisibility with the Gear Falcons, you get volatile rounds, and because of Stylish Executioner, whenever you get a kill with volatile rounds, you become invisible. So you can constantly chain those two things back and forth to essentially remain invisible 100% of the time during a lot of these encounters. Now, moving on from there, guys, as for the weapons, we have the Lingering Dread, an auto-loading chill clip blinding grenade launcher, again just for keeping on top of the ads. Now our void weapon is going to be the age-old Bond auto rifle to deal with the barrier champions, and we've got target lock for a bit more damage and repulsor brace. Generally, this archetype of auto rifles isn't great, but because we do have a void surge, it is going to be more than capable of getting some kills. After that, guys, we do have the Leviathan's Breath here as well, and the important part about this is that it's going to cause a concussive blast that knocks combatants back, and this will work on the final boss. So you hit him in the face with the Leviathan's Breath shot, and he will pause just for like half a second. It won't be a huge effect, but if you can have someone continuously hitting him with a Leviathan's Breath, it will absolutely slow him down and make sure he's not just charging at you relentlessly, giving you just a few more seconds to do some damage or get out of a bad situation. Now, moving on from there, guys, we have the armor mods. Now, for the helmet, we do have a Heavy Ammo Finder, we have Ashes to Assets, and then we have Harmonic Siphon. After that, we have Harmonic Loader combined with Impact Induction and Bolstering Detonation. For the chest piece, we have Harmonic Resistance and then 2 Solar Resistances trying to counter that threat. For the legs, we do have a Stasis Weapon Surge for the grenade launcher, and then a Harmonic Scavenger, as well as a Recuperation. And then finally, on the class item, we have triple Powerful Attraction. Alright, now let's move on from there to the tips for the strike itself. Now, importantly, when you start here, you have A, B, and C objectives. You actually, in my opinion, want to head to A first, and that's because, as you can see, the second you shoot off all of the gunk on A, then you have the Death Singer Chorister spawn. Now, you want to kill this guy as quickly as possible. If he gets over to the Shriekers and enacts his effect, it's going to disable your abilities and just be a huge pain in the butt, so you can actually spawn camp the door he comes out of, as you can see right here, when you have full heavy right at the very beginning. Now, after that, it's just about holding out near this A objective, guys, and remember there is going to be a heavy ammo box right here as well, so liberally use your heavy ammo to start, and then even if you run out, you can grab the box and you're good to go. Now, moving on from there, another big tip is you don't actually have to stand on these objectives. They will go faster if you're standing on them, but they will still auto-complete if you're away from them. As you can see right here, we held out back through this kind of tunnel area, and all the enemies are just funneling to us. We're a lot safer back here, and again, the objective will still eventually complete, and when the enemies start to thin out, then you can head over there and stand on it to complete it. So don't think that you have to stand right on these objectives and plant your well right here in order to complete them. Now, moving on from there, guys, after that, you're going to go inside, and again, where you hold out is up to you. We held out kind of in the back here. A lot of the enemies are just going to funnel right in front of you, but every once in a while, an enemy is going to sneak behind you, and as you can see, suddenly there's a barrier champion behind you, which is not ideal. Another place to hold out is where you can see me aiming right here, and there's a heavy ammo crate up here as well. Keep in mind though, when you do peek out over top of this wall, everything's going to be shooting at you. So it's honestly not ideal anywhere. There's just a lot of ads here, so get ready to be spamming supers and heavy. Now moving on from there, we get to this section here, and I do have a bit of a skip for you. As you can see, if you come up to the top right here, instead of heading left like you're supposed to, you can jump on top of this like kind of pipeline and run forward and jump up to the side of this building, skipping a pretty big part of this kind of jumping section. Moving on from there, we get to this section here where you have to open the Hive Ruin locked door. Now, importantly, there's going to be one of the orbs that you need to open these ruins right above you, and I would recommend getting the other one because you only need two off to the right. As you can see, there's like no enemies out here. It's kind of just a jumping puzzle, so you could grab this and head back no problem. Make sure though that you are stopping shooting like the second you destroy these ruins, or else you might need to get a third one, which is going to be a huge pain in the butt, and then just hop up to the top, get the last one, and complete that. Now, as you're doing this, a ton of enemies are going to be spawning, and it's absolutely worth using your supers. You're actually going to get all your supers back, so don't worry about that if you need to use them. But keep in mind that when you do open the door, the enemies are going to despawn. So if someone does die, if you can get to that top thing and just open the door and hide back there in safety, the enemies are going to despawn. You can revive your fallen comrades. Now, after that, guys, we do get to the final boss fight, and this one is pretty tricky. The boss is a redesigned light blade, and it is just going to follow you around and absolutely smack the crap out of you when he gets close. And when you do enough damage, he's also going to disappear and then reappear often right in front of you. So, the best way I've found for dealing with this guy is holding out kind of at the back open hallway area, as you can see, and then splitting your team up. You know, two people on one side, one person on the other side, and then the boss is going to have to kind of slowly walk down this hallway to one of those directions. And no matter which direction he's coming, you can do a lot of damage if he's slowly walking towards you and you're shooting at him. And then when he gets close, you just hop over him and go join the other side. Now, like, all three of you are shooting him, he gets close, you split up again, head two people back to the other side, and just keep making him like walk down this wide open hallway again and again, and you're more than able to just, in relative safety, pick him away with your machine guns, even primaries, whatever, right? Again, in relative safety. You want to be in the open here because you can see him coming. You see where he's going to reappear from as well a lot easier. Whereas if you're amongst all the pillars, that's when he sneaks up on you, and it's just a big problem. Now, when you do eventually get this guy down to 50% health, he's going to have an immunity shield and still follow you around and try to kill you, which is great. And then you're going to have to kill these arc-shielded knights and grab the balls they drop and deposit them in the middle here. This is where, if you do have an invisibility hunter, they should come into play. They can go invisible, grab this and plant it, all still while being invisible, hopefully. Or remember, you can pick up a ball if you're kind of in the corner of the map, right? You can pick up the ball, get close, then, you know, activate your invisible class ability, pick it up again, and get the plant when you're a lot closer. If you don't have a hunter, the second best choice, as you can see, is sending the Banner of War Titan in there. They're going to have enough healing that they should be able to tank a little bit of damage. And if you can have someone sail a blinding grenade over to that area first, just to deal with any wizards or knights or acolytes in the area, that's a great time to go in and plant when they're all blinded. Now, after you do plant 5 of these orbs, the immunity shield is going to go down, and it's just going back to what you did earlier. Have that long hallway, get him to walk all the way one way, then the other way, and just pick at him. Now, you can actually see right here, there's a little place you can jump up on these pillars, and as you can see from my teammate shooting the boss kind of doesn't really know what to do in this situation. If he gets really close, he might be able to hit you with the slam even when you're there, but it can kind of confuse his AI and cause him to kind of just stop and not know what to do. Now, when you are up here, you can be shot by acolytes to your side, but it's just a tactic I thought I would mention in case it does come in handy for your run. In any event, guys, that's pretty much it. Pick him away as you're baiting him back and forth. Eventually, you're going to get him down to 0. 0, and you will complete this Grandmaster. So guys, that is it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.